this show today, we're going to talk about valleys of life and our self-talk. Yes, because you know what? We're with each other. We're with ourselves 24/7. And I don't know about you, but my self-talk has not always been uplifting. I have been known to be pretty mean with my self-talk. And so we're going to take a good look at what we're saying to ourselves. Now, before we begin, if you want to share this with your family and friends, guess what? Go right ahead, share the love, because that's what it's all about, is helping people just be better. Yeah, that's what it's all about here. Let me just tell you a little bit about who I am. I'm Isabel, and I'm living here in New Zealand. I'm a medical doctor. I was trained in University of Colorado Medical School, graduated from medical school in 1991. I know that was so long ago, but that's okay. And now I have been working on Doctoronamission. Like, what part of the story should I be talking to you about today? Because there's so much of the story. So the part of the story I'm going to tell you about right now in this little bit, yes, just this little bit, is I have suffered from major anxiety and fear. Yes. And I have had to learn this stuff. And I just want to let you know, the way I am right now is not who I was 10 years ago or 20 years ago. I've come like a long way because I've taken a deep dive into learning all this stuff that I'm going to be teaching today. So my point is, who I am right now is not who I was before. And we all start out as beginners. We don't start out as experts. As much as we'd love to start out as experts, I would love to be on the top of each mountain all the time and not have to struggle and do all that work. However, we do have to struggle and get to the top. So just know that we all start out as beginners. Now, I'm just a little bit further ahead in this department. Not in every department, but in this department, because I've done a lot of work, like a lot of work, okay? So that's why I can coach about it. And that's my goal, is for you to learn this stuff a lot faster than I did. So let me ask you a couple of questions out there. Have you ever struggled with your self-talk? And by that I mean, are you consistent at talking nicely to yourself? And if you're not, or if you are, what kind of things do you find yourself saying to yourself? Go ahead and leave it in the comment section below, and I promise I'll go ahead and get back to it. If not today, tomorrow, and I'll get back to you on that, okay? Because it's interesting to hear what we say to ourselves. Now, I used to say things like, "You will never make it, Isabel. You're such a loser." Or things like, "You'll never get the weight off," or you'll never become a doctor. You're not good at math. And you know what? Gosh, if I would have known what I know now while I was in my pre-med, medical school, my residency training, raising kids, life would have been a lot easier. So let me know what kind of self-talk you say to yourself. Just be honest. Come on, it's okay. You can be straight up and transparent, because I'm straight up and transparent. That's what it's all about, is being real. So let's see. Let me start with a bit of the coaching. Now, I've got my notes right here, so you see me looking down. It's only because if I don't have my notes, I will be here forever, because I can talk and talk and talk and talk, if you haven't already noticed. So life is full of ups and downs, right? Ups and downs. And it's great when we're at the top, but it's terrible when you're in the valley. I do not like valleys. None of us like the valleys. We all like that high feeling of, wow, I made it. And we don't like the struggle. Everybody likes having a beginning where they're going to go, have a vision of where they're going, And people love it when they get to the top of their goal, but nobody likes the struggle. No one. And nobody likes change. So let's talk about what we do when we're in that struggle. And that struggle is the valley, okay? Because it's not smooth sailing out there, if you haven't already noticed. So while we're in the valley, we've got a choice to make. And the choice for you and everybody else out there is, am I going to grow in this valley during this struggle and make it to the next step, to the next level? Or am I going to stay here or go back to what I know? Go back to that other mountain that's lower, that, where it's safer, where I know how to deal with things. So many people out there will not get through the struggle and get to the top. What they'll do is they'll stay at the valley or they'll go backwards. So you need to make a decision. Where are you going to go? Are you going to go backwards? And for me, for instance, medical school was so hard for me. I just am like a dog on a bone. When I've got a goal, I do not give up. And it was only by sheer determination and persistence that I made it through medical school and became a doctor. Because you know what? I'm not that smart. I am not that smart. But you know what? I am so doggone persistent. Yes. So for those of you who want to become a doctor, guess what? You don't have to be smart. You just have to be persistent and never give up and know where you're going, okay? Because look at me. I made it. I mean, even my family can't believe I became a doctor. I mean, there are people in my life, they're like, you're a doctor? No. Well, yeah, I am. I got the MD degree in 1991 and I'm still practicing. I love it. I'm doing it for the rest of my life. So in the valley, you've got to decide, are you going to starve your doubt? Like, I can't do this. Or are you going to feed your faith? For instance, I will get through this. Is that what you're saying to yourself? Because if you are, then you'll get there. Or are you like all the other people that are out there saying they starve their faith and then they feed their doubt? And they go, I can never get this. This will never happen. It's a choice. So the choice is right now in the valley, are you going to starve your doubt? I have to think about this because you know what? You have to think about these things. Are you going to starve your doubt? And we're live, so I can't re-edit this stuff. So are you going to starve your doubt and feed your faith? Or are you going to starve your faith and feed your doubt? Whatever you feed will grow, okay? Just a little heads up. And remember, when you're in the valley, everybody goes through valleys, so it's not just you. Now, I can only give you stories about my sufferings, my failures, because it's been my life. And my goal is that you will learn from my failures. Now, when I started out 3 years ago with Doctor on a Mission, I had this dream. After being in front of all these people, more than 100,000 people, patients, taking care of them, I was like, you know what? I am hearing your pain, and I know we've got to do medicine differently. Because medicine, all we do in medicine is either give you a pill or give you surgery, but we don't get to the root of the problem. We're not taught that, okay? We're not even taught nutrition. And so after 26 years, after practicing medicine for all those years, 3 years ago, I said, okay, I want to start something new. And I had a download from you know who, and he said, it's time to start Doctor on a Mission. Okay, so I started Doctor on a Mission. I had no idea how to do Doctor on a Mission, and I wasn't taught how to do this in medical school. And so we started. And then I know where we want to go with you, with the tribe. I know where the goal is, but now it's the struggle. So now I'm going to talk to you about what I have done to get through this struggle, because I'm telling you, it has gotten pretty ugly. But I'm now getting past the struggle and I see the light, and I want to get you to your light, to your next level, okay? So what did I do to get through that struggle? Well, number one, read positive books. There are so many amazing books out there. Zig Ziglar, Og Mandino is amazing. John Maxwell, amazing. Norman Vincent Peale, The Power of Positive Thinking. The Good Book, the Bible. I'm telling you, that stuff is just nutrition for your soul. Just read positive books, whatever works for you, okay? Acres of Diamond is a great book. Oh my gosh, I wish I would have written all the books. Okay, so books are key. And then the next thing that you want to do is you want to make sure you have a file in your email. And in your file, write when life happens. And you know what I mean by that. Like when you find yourself in the valley, that's my when life happens file. And in that, what I want you to do now is start depositing articles, stories in there, sayings, so that when you find yourself in that valley, then you can go there and get replenished, get fed with that information. The next thing that I encourage you to do is have statements all over the house, in the car, wherever, in your phone. And these are some of the statements that you might want to have. These are some that helped me, but let me tell you, this is a few compared to what I've had around the house, okay? So one is, right, you are worthy. You are worthy of success. You are loved, because you know what? You are loved. You are an amazing human being, right? You are an unrepeatable miracle. My kids laugh at me when I say that to them, or I text them and I go, "You're an unrepeatable miracle." And they just go, "Oh, Mom," because they know we've had that all over their house. And now our kids are traveling around the world, becoming amazing citizens of the world. And so when they start feeling a little down, I go, "Hey, remember, you," and I'm reminding you, you are an unrepeatable miracle. Yeah, I'm talking to you right there, sitting right in front of me, okay? All right, and then also you can write things like, "I can do this. I will get through this. I will get through this and succeed." But those are the things that you need to be having rumbling in your brain. And anything that's negative, you need to kick it out. And anything that people are saying to you that are negative, you've got to close the door. I mean, if it's constructive criticism that's going to help you grow, listen. But if it's going to tear you down and hurt your heart and break your heart and scar your heart, well, then you know what? You need to keep those people, even if it's family members, even if it's close friends, you need to keep them at a distance, and only surround yourself in your inner circle with people that believe in you. The next thing is decide to do this afraid. You know, John Maxwell, one of my mentors, said, if you are growing, you will always be out of your comfort zone. And whenever we're out of our comfort zone, we're going to feel fear. And Joyce Meyer, another one of my amazing mentors, says, do it afraid. And remember that you've got an antidote to fear. Just like a doctor has an antidote to a snake bite, you have a snake bite, you come to the doctor, we give you an antidote. When you've got fear, because fear is just the negative part of life, fear will stop everybody. But whenever you feel fear, don't let it stop you. Just say, I'm going to apply the antidote. And what is the antidote to fear? You can go ahead and type it in. I'll wait. Well, the antidote to fear is faith. Having faith that, yes, I will get through this. I know that there is a perfect plan out there for me, and I'm going to go and get it because it's mine, because I'm going to help the world, because you know what? You are here to make an amazing difference in this world. And I don't care how deep and how dark and how ugly it gets in your valley, just remember that you're here to make an amazing difference, okay? So don't forget that, because it's so important, okay? Okay, sorry. It's just that I know what it's like. So, and then also make sure that you surround yourself with positive people that believe in you, okay? Okay. Sorry, you guys. You know, and I just want to say that this is the stuff that should be taught in school everywhere. When it's, you know, we should be taught these life skills, these skills to get you through ugliness, because you know what? It's not being taught. And we need programs. We need online courses. We need a system to help us when stuff happens, to help us with our mindsets, because it's not taught. I want to tell you about a story about the palm tree. Now, a palm tree, you know, we got them all over here in New Zealand. But palm trees, when the hurricane comes, palm trees, when the wind blows, bends and bends, but it never breaks. It goes I'm telling you, it will go and touch the ground and then touch the ground, but it never breaks. So the key is when the storms of your life happen, bend, but don't break. And remember, wherever you bend, like the palm tree, wherever the palm tree has to bend, it will always be the strongest right there. So whenever you go through a storm in your life, or wherever you go through a deep, deep, ugly period in your life, know that you will be stronger because of it, and you will get skills, and you'll get the mindset like, hey, you know what? If I went through that, I can make it through anything in my life, okay? All right. A story about Mother Teresa. Mother Teresa was being interviewed, and the interviewer said, you know, it says in the good book that God only gives what we can handle. And Mother Teresa said, yes, that's very true. However, I wish he wouldn't believe in me so much. Do any of you feel that way? Do you ever feel like, wow, this is way too much to handle? I have. So, you know, so many people ask me, well, do I need to go into counseling to learn these skills? No, you don't need to go into counseling. How long does it take to learn this stuff? Well, my goal is for you to take this stuff and start applying it right away, especially with some of the tips that I've just given you, like getting good books, doing a when life happens file, statements all over the house, and just make sure that you do it afraid and surround yourself with only positive people. And personally, I only have like 3 or 4 5 very close people in my inner circle that I feel so safe talking to them about anything, okay? And they support me. But so you can do this right away. However, so many people have had so many questions, and I've heard them all. And so I thought, you know what? I got to put together a program. And so I put together this program called Mindsets of Health online course. It's an easy course. It's so affordable, and it's guaranteed. Plus, it gives you the tools to take a deeper dive into the information that we're doing today, because you know what? This is not it. There is so much more that can get you through your struggles so that you can get to your next life. Your next level, whatever you want, wherever you want to be, okay? The goal is you need somebody to help you through, because this stuff is not being taught. So if that's of interest to you, just check the link above after this video, and it's called Mindsets of Health online course, and you can check it out. It's only $35. So, you know, if you need some help, I've created a course for you. Okay, because I've heard the cries. All right, so let's go on to the second part of the coaching. So I love this stuff. I love teaching stuff that people can just use right away. So it says self-limiting beliefs. I'd say I'm going to get my flashlight. I got a flashlight and I got a piece of paper. So my goal here is to remind you to make sure that you shine the light on your self-limiting beliefs. And that's the stuff that's going in your brain. What are you saying to yourself? I mean, stop right now. Stop right this second and say to yourself, what am I thinking? This crazy lady is a doctor. I can't believe it. But my point is, whenever you're driving in the car, listen to yourself. What are you saying to yourself? Is it positive? Is it negative? Shine the light. Expose it. And if it's negative, say, no, that's wrong. This is the replacement for that, okay? So shine the light on your self-limiting beliefs. What's keeping you inside your little tiny box, inside your little jail cell, and you're holding on to the jail cell wall bars and looking out going, I want to get out. Well, what's stopping you from getting out? It's those small self-limiting beliefs saying that you're not worthy. You're not worthy of better. Well, you know what? You can bust out of that. You just need some help. That's what we're doing here. The next thing, another idea that, to help you through your struggle is I want you to take a piece of paper and on one side of the piece of paper write, I can, and then your goals, 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever they are. And then on the other side of the piece of paper write, I can't, and the reasons why, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, whatever. Okay? Now, take the piece of paper that says I can't because, and when you look at the piece of paper, you can only see one side. I can't. That's all you look at. I can't, I can't, I can't. However, and you can't see the I can goals. However, if you take the piece of paper sideways like this, I can see you. Take the piece of paper sideways like this. The difference between I can and I can't is just a thin piece of paper away. It's just an idea. You're one idea away from getting over to the I can side. So what is that one idea going to be? What is it? It's a choice. Are you going to go to the other side or not? And that one idea could be one thought. And that one thought could be, I choose to do this. Or it could say, I take control of my life and I am going to find a way. I am going to do this afraid. I will figure this out. And become responsible for your success. Don't rely on anybody else to make you successful. You have got to do the work. Now, I just want to make a little disclaimer here. We are not an island. We cannot make it anywhere without the help of other people. However, other people around us, our team is not supposed to do the work. They're supposed to help you with the work. And I frequently say, when I'm working with a team, and we've reached a goal, I frequently say, hey, you guys, all the credit goes to you because I am nothing without my team. And either are you. You are nothing without your team. Don't be so prideful and full of arrogance like we see out there and say, I don't need anybody. I used to be like that. I used to say, I don't need anybody's help. I can do this by myself. Well, you know what? That's not true. You can only go from here to here by you thinking I can and then surrounding yourself with the right people that lift you up and take you there, okay? So also remember one other thing before we come to a close is before the age of 11, this was news. This was very interesting to me. I did not get this, but it really has helped me a lot. Before the age of 11, everything everybody says to us, we believe. Everything everybody says to us, we believe. We have a diminished capacity to reject what people are saying to us before the age of 11. So can you imagine everything we heard? How many no's, how many negative things we heard before the age of 11 that we still have rooted inside of us? Things like, oh, you can't do math, or you'll never amount to anything, or you're hopeless. Oh, I do not like that statement, you're hopeless. Don't say that. So the point here is, whatever people said to you before the age of 11, like parents, like brothers and sisters, like friends, like cousins, like uncles, is a dangerous place to live the rest of your life. And you can make the choice to say, I am not going to live there. That used to be me. I'm going to become a new person. But you've got to make the choice. It's just one choice that you have to make, okay? And that is, I can do this. I don't have to live there. One little mean little story about my life is I did so poorly in math in high school and science. Like, I dropped out. I was pretty bad. Well, I believed that I couldn't do math. And I was actually told I couldn't do math and science. And so guess what? I didn't do math or science. However, I still wanted to become a doctor. So finally, when I was in my 20s and it was time for me to get serious and do math and do science, guess what? I did it because I made the decision. And so can you. Whatever you want to do, you can make the decision. As long as what you want to do is going to help people, it's going to serve them, it won't hurt them, and it's within God's statements, like thou shalt not kill, hurt your neighbor, all those things, okay? You can do whatever you put your mind to, and I thoroughly believe that. So to recap, I just want to say that whenever we're in our valleys, we've got a choice. Are we going to make it or we're not going to make it? And I hope that this information will help you with that struggle. And if you do decide to get through the struggle, I've given you some really good tips that helped me. That's the only thing I can do is help you because it helped me, okay? So if you want to share this with your family and friends, please do, because I think it could really help a lot of people. Actually, I know that so many people are starving for this brain nutrition. And so that's why I put together this online course called Mindsets of Health that you can go ahead and check. You can view the whole thing before you purchase it and gobble it up. And you've got it in your computer for life, forever. So, hey, you know what? You could actually put it in your computer under the file When Life Happens to help you through the struggle. So if you've got any questions, does anybody have any questions out there? Well, make sure you write in your questions. I promise to circle around and come back. And thank you for joining. I respect your time and your commitment for learning how to live up to 100 years young and healthy. Mindsets of Health. It's all about mindsets of health and getting you through the valley of your life, yes, and your self-talk.